Freaks, I'm Sam and I've been loaned out like a dusty but fun library book to Movie House from my channel 101 Facts. Check it out, I hear it's great. To dispense some facts about Pixar's masterful emotion picture Inside Out. So without much further ado, let's get inside the mind of this movie. Fact 1. According to director Pete Docter, each emotion is based on a shape. Joy is based on a star, sadness is a teardrop, anger is a fire brick, fear is a raw nerve, and disgust is broccoli. Which is kind of ironic given how much he hates broccoli. She must have real self-perception issues. Fact 2. The writers considered up to 27 different emotions, but settled on 5, joy, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger, to make it less complicated. Plus that control room would be crowded, wouldn't it? There's only one sofa in the whole place. Anyway, some of the major emotions that ended up being cut include surprise, pride, and trust. Fact 3. Depending on the country of release, Riley's father daydreams about either hockey or soccer. At least he was daydreaming about a sport. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. Fact 4. As Caitlin Diaz was 11 years old when cast as the voice of Riley, puberty struck her like an inevitable wheelbarrow of hormones and her voice deepened considerably. She had to adjust her voice to make it sound younger later on in production. Fact 5. For the voice of toddler-aged Riley, the producers simply recycled old dialogue of Mary Gibbs, who provided the voice for the almost unbearably cute Boo in Monsters, Inc. She is even listed in the credits under additional voices. Fact 6. Production designer Ralph Eggleston worked for 5.5 years on Inside Out. He said it's the longest he's ever worked on one film, and it was the hardest process too. Fact 7. The House of Cards, in Riley's mind, not Kevin Spacey's, is made up of cards that are actually portraits of Riley's mum and dad. They each represent the king and queen respectively. Riley is represented as the Jack but with an R instead of a J because Riley's name begins with the letter R and does not begin with the letter J. Oh, I didn't need to explain that bit. Okay, my bad. Fact 8. The film featured about 45 animators, about half as many as previous Pixar films. Which, by the way, if you want to find out more about those after you finish this delightful video, then 101 Facts About Pixar is the video for you. Just saying. Anyway, Fact 9. The massive shells of the long-term memory curve and bend to resemble the various wrinkles and folds that appear on the cerebral cortex of the brain's outer surface. Ooh, sciencey. Fact 10. As Riley progresses throughout the story and becomes more depressed and withdrawn, her clothing choices go from being bright and colourful to being darker and more plain. That's exactly like when I was a teenager, except with less System of a Down t-shirts and, you know, testosterone. Fact 11. Riley's chief emotion is joy, Mum's is sadness, and Dad's is anger. You can tell because each one of those emotions is at the control console with as much authority as a Starfleet captain with a god complex. Fact 12. There's a scene in Dream Productions where a camera filter is added called the Reality Distortion Filter. This is a direct reference to former Pixar CEO Steve Jobs, where he would do anything to convince his employees that they could get the job done. The employees called it Steve's Reality Distortion Field. Fact 13. Originally, Riley was meant to have a pet and a younger sibling. Both ended up being dropped from the story to make Riley seem more vulnerable. Wow, Pixar, you sadists! No wonder Riley was so depressed. Fact 14. Caitlin Diaz was originally just a scratch voice, meaning her voice was only to be used to narrate the storyboard cinematic during development, to see if scenes were gelling or not. However, the producers liked her so much they decided to keep her as the voice of Riley in the finished film. Fact 15. It took 5 years, or 43,800 hours if you want to be all fancy about it, to make Inside Out. Fact 16. The railings of the walkways and balconies in Riley's headquarters are the shape of DNA strands. Ooh, it's pretty. I might get it for my apartment. Fact 17. The scene with the two subconscious guards arguing about the hat is a highbrow Clever Clogs reference to the absurdist play Waiting for Godot. As a further nod to the absurdist nature of this scene, the guard Dave is played by Frank Oz, while the guard Frank is played by Dave Goelz. Fact 18. During the first dream sequence of Riley's new haunted house, a simplified version of the song Grim Grinning Ghosts from the Disney ride The Haunted Mansion is playing in the background. Slight side note here, but my god, that rat is terrifying! Fact 19. Inside Out is Pixar Animation Studios' 15th feature film, and probably the 6th to make me cry till my eyes hurt? Maybe 7. Fact 20. Anger's chic little outfit consists of a white dress shirt and a loose-fitting red tie. This is a reference to the trademark outfit of his voice actor, Lewis Black, who almost always wears a white dress shirt and a loose-fitting red tie with a black sports jacket while doing his stand-up routines. Fact 21. If you're a hockey fan and using this map as a city map of San Francisco, then stop right there. The physical location of the hockey rink in San Francisco in Inside Out is the same as the Walt Disney Family Museum in the real city. Sorry, I just didn't want you to get lost on the way to a location that doesn't exist. Fact 22. The film was originally going to be titled Brain Trust. Oh, I see what they did there with the brain and the trust, and clever, very clever. Fact 23. The school Riley attends is based on a real-life school in San Francisco called the James Lick Middle School, located on No Street in the No Valley District. It's just east of the Twin Peaks. No, not that Twin Peaks. That would make for a very different film. Fact 24. One of the writers, named Josh Cooley, voiced Jangles the Clown. I wonder if that's his actual real-life voice. If so, poor guy. Fact 25. Over the course of the film, Joy experiences all 5 of the basic emotions. Joy being her overall demeanour, anger at Sadness's actions, disgust towards Riley's dream boyfriend, fear towards Jangles the Clown, and finally sadness in the memory dump. Damn Pixar, I wish I was as brainy as you guys. Although you just reminded me of the memory dump scene. Oh god. Well, there we go. 25 facts on Inside Out have been blurted out all over this very video out of my mouth. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. I hear it makes your joy in your head very happy indeed. I've been Sam from 101 Facts. Thank you very much for letting me move in for a bit, Movie House, but I'll pack up my things and skedaddle. If you guys want to come back to my channel with me, subscribe and see 76 more facts about Pixar, then there's plenty of room on the moving truck for everybody. Bye!